Make that a bit smaller. And I should be up and running in a minute if my computer decides to allow it today. I'm good when you are.
Hello, Twitch and YouTube.
Alright guys, as the title suggests, Andy's getting older today. He's getting older live. Tune in to see that. Typhus is still blue.
Yep. And I'm not painting a Night Lord just yet. I'm doing a Space Marine.
You're actually doing a Space Marine?
Legion of the Damned, innit?
Oh, you've not done that one in a while.
So I'm doing a little bit of work on a Legion of the Damned Marine.
So if you guys on YouTube want to see a Legion of the Damned live stream, go on to our Twitch. Links in the description for this video. And I am painting Typhus. I am going to try and find a colour combination for the rust effect on all of this trim. I want it more of an orangey colour. I haven't settled on that yet. Because unfortunately when I put too much orange on like here, it starts to look a bit too much like a Thousand Suns paint scheme.
Yeah, because it's blue.
Yeah, so I'm having a bit of difficulty with that at the moment, trying to figure out what kind of colour to use.
Yeah, blue Death Guard's an odd one.
Yeah, I was going to put more of the Dark Reaper in so it had a bit more green to it.
Yeah, that could work. Where's that knife gone? We have a hobby knife somewhere.
You're not allowed sharp knives.
I need it. And it's not for stabbing people. Well, not today anyway. Or yet. You've not got it either, have you?
No I don't. I'm not sure. It's probably in that side bit there, mate.
Found it.
No. We also purchased some more paints that I'm going to try out today.
Yeah, got some new Vallejo.
That was the Model Air range.
Yeah, a new Vallejo Model Air range from the tank range from the Second World War section.
So, yeah.
Some interesting colours. And one what is called green, but isn't.
Yeah, it's brown.
Yeah.
I don't get that one, but we got Hull Red, which I think's going to be an interesting colour. It's similar to the Burnt Umber.
Yeah, it is quite well on us. Sort of set of things.
Rich reddish brown, but more in the brown scale. And then US flat brown, which seems quite orangey.
Might be able to get somewhere with that.
And I'm hoping a combination of these kind of really bring out the trim.
Ow.
How or ow? Like,
Ow.
You had the knife for like 2 seconds.
No, it wasn't even the knife.
No?
No, it was a screw. The drill.
You managed to drill yourself.
Yep.
There's a lot of special going off in the studio.
It's infinite, mate.
Infinite special.
Although, one of the cool things, Sarah bought me a new t-shirt and it's an Orky one, so you're going to be proper jealous.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's one of them flowcharts.
Oh, the old you was mucking about flowchart.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Slightly different, but yeah, it's one of them.
That's cool.
You're going to be jealous when I bring that one in.
I never end up like... Yeah, probably. Doesn't... Yeah, fucking... Last time it was your I think it was your birthday, or I'd just been Comic-Con or something. I got you that T-shirt with the dice rolls that you usually have. The
yeah.
three ones. It's like insufficient tickle. The D&D roll.
Yeah.
I was telling Jen about that, and the guy that was selling me the T-shirt, we were talking about the odds, and he has actually seen someone roll about 20. It was a ridiculous number of dice, like 40 dice, and they all land on one. It's like the odds of that actually happening and to be
Astronomical.
there. Astronomical, but to actually be there, you would be completely amazed.
Yeah, that's some astronomical odds there. I mean, I've had some pretty crazy dice results, both good and bad.
Yeah.
But not quite that level. The best one was a run of something like 8 or 9 sixes on a trot.
Nice.
So this is a 50-50 mix of Fenrisian Grey and Dark Reaper. Yeah, Dark Reaper. For these edge highlights. I'm going around all the edge highlighted areas, although at some point a lot of it will be covered with free-handed flames. But you know, at least that way you get a consistent highlight all the way around your figure, rather than weird blotchy, weird positioned highlights what don't make any sense. This is a system of painting black what I actually stole from Darren Latham.
Yeah.
He did a masterclass on painting black a while back, so I borrowed it and altered it and turned it to my own.
Yeah, you always end up putting your own spin on things eventually.
Yeah, I add extra highlights. Is the main thing I do.
That's a logical step. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, which is why this army will never get done. Although I could try. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the edition.
Be nice.
It gives me 4 years.
Pushing it a bit there, like 4 years. You might do.
No.
So I'm definitely liking this US flat brown. And I am blending it with the whole red that we just purchased.
Yeah, we got a good deal on them.
16 quid for 16 paints.
Yeah. Hey, Disco, how you doing? We're both well. Good to see you, buddy. I'm painting a Legion of the Damned Marine today for my ongoing Legion of the Damned project. How are you, Dodge?
I am working on Typhus again, mate. Trying to come up with a good combination of colours for all of his trim.
So yeah, Dodge is trying to make Typhus look less like a Thousand Sun Marine.
Which is quite difficult with the way I painted it.
Yeah, and a very odd statement.
But I'm already quite happy with that colour combination there. I think these will work. I've been using the Mahovy as well by scale 75 there, and that's starting to bring up that colour quite nicely. Seeing as I don't use the loaded brush technique with just the two colours, I tend at the moment to be well, like 5 or 6 colours or whatever is needed.
So how are you doing it? You putting like 4 or 5 colours all on your brush all at once?
Sometimes I'm wet blending them and working it that way as well.
Interesting.
It is, but some of it's really difficult to do when it comes to really small surface areas and you're trying to do a lot of different colours in there.
How are you, Disco Magma? How you getting on? Yeah, I'm really not feeling the Night Lord at the minute.
You've been working on him for quite some time.
Yeah, including the conversion work and everything. So I want to do a good job of him. So you know, there's no harm in taking a break and painting something else.
It also helps. We have to do stuff like that to help with the viewers.
Yeah,
they don't want to watch you painting the same thing all day.
Yeah, people get bored of painting watching the same video. So rather helpfully, we always have, at least in my case, we always have a bunch of stuff ready to go. Just
yeah, you've got to have a few projects.
Keeps your sanity in check.
No, that's gone, mate.
Well, here's what's left of it there.
What's left of it is in a bucket somewhere.
Is it not last night's curry?
Bit of both. Yeah, just struggling a bit with my focus on the camera here, guys. See if I can adjust my seat. We were a bit
We started a little later than we wanted to.
Thank you. Because I was having computer troubles today.
Yeah, because computers love us.
Yeah, the computer was like, no, we need a restart. Then it just stayed in restart for ages.
Not so bad apart from a self-inflicted gash on my finger. I'll live though.
That's part of the hobby.
Yeah.
Or did you not do it hobby-wise? Was
Yeah.
it another accident?
Was it accidental through boat-related things, or was it hobby stuff? I'm guessing hobby stuff because I've already had an injury, hobby-related injury, and I've only been at it 20 minutes. Because that's how I roll.
Yeah, you really do. That is a nice orange colour. I've just got to...
Mending a hose pipe. Alright, I'm intrigued. My lad wants his electric scooter tyre replaced. He needs a new front tyre. And they are an absolute nightmare to change.
Yeah?
Yeah, they are really, really tightly fitted in.
Yes, you need the right tools for that sort of job.
Oh, mate.
I think I'm going to be happy with this colour.
It's so awkward to do. Thing is, I knew I was going to do it, but I carried on regardless. You passed the man test.
Yeah.
This is going to end in tears. Mine. Oh well.
Reminds me of the time, I think I've obviously told you the story where I put the hobby knife straight into my thigh.
It's like, ouch.
I knew I shouldn't have been cutting the arm of the orc on my leg.
Oh yeah.
Did it anyway.
It's got to be done, mate. Got ya. I knew that'd work eventually.
What are you cutting up?
No, it was just getting this to fit on properly.
Ah.
I had to allow another word.
Hey, another word.
Yep.
What's
like,
this one?
I'd permitted term spars.
Yep.
It was leaking and I had to cut it. I had to cut it down, and I'm a sparse. Yeah. Join a club. We've all managed to do dumb stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anything involving a rotary blade generally goes through me.
Literally goes through you.
Yeah. I've also taken wall tiles off with an axe. With predictable results.
Yeah, that ceramic's going to go everywhere.
Oh no, yeah, I went into the neighbour's bathroom.
Ah.
That was amusing. And they won't know until they take their tiles down for their own bathroom, because they didn't go all the way through. At which point I can go,
Yeah,
you're back off.
Yeah. So I'm getting a reasonable colour there actually. Quite happy with that. So now I can start painting some more colour onto Typhus, make him look a bit different. First I'm going to apply the water. That's just going to help move the paint around.
Here's Johnny, yeah. Yes. That's a great film.
It is.
Have you seen Doctor Sleep?
That's the sequel. I have seen that.
Yeah, it's got Ewan McGregor in it. Yeah, love it. Shining Star, yeah. Shining's a great film. The sequel's not bad actually, and it delves more into the lore of the Shining. You know, the actual gift.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of an interesting take.
And I thought the villain in it, I thought she was really well played.
So did I actually.
Very weird seeing her as a villain after watching a few days before Greatest Showman, and she's in that
Yeah.
as a singer. Let's have a
good variety of acting skills then.
Yeah, and she can really sing. The singing is what she's doing is actually her.
Oh, right.
She's really, really good.
So it's not actually the US flat brown that's got the colour in it. I'm getting more colour by wet blending the whole red in there,
Okay.
making the initial colour more orange.
Right.
Yeah, this technique's weird.
Sounds it.
It has unpredictable results at times.
So now I'm using pretty much pure Fenris grey. There will be 2 more layers of highlights going on after this, because I'm a sucker for punishment.
Yeah, at least you're not painting in white, that's what you usually do.
Oh god, yeah. I want to torture myself. Here, Bigmeksarmy. Yay, I'll do it white. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't know.
You just do. I've seen you paint 2 or 3 white armies, I think.
Yeah, 3. I'm on.
Yeah, I thought so.
3, one of which wasn't my fault.
True.
I can't take the blame for 1.
No, that was commission work.
That was a commission work, yeah. But I painted 2 white World Eater armies, and they're both white. You'd have thought I'd learn. Apparently I don't.
I think you just like it. I think you just punish yourself for fun.
Yeah, some kind of weird BDSM thing.
Yeah, some kind of masochist painter. I'm now able to change the hue of that quite well, and the tone.
Every time I hear you say Hugh, I just think of the boys. Little Huey.
Oh yeah,
I love that show.
I had to rewatch that. Bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it as well. It's so funny. The whale, man. The whale.
That scene's brilliant. And then we should add a bit of purity white in here as well. Try and sharpen the edge up. I'm sorry if I banged the camera. It happens quite a bit as it has to come over my shoulder and it's on a gooseneck tripod.
Bolted, bashed and bodged.
Yeah, you can't knock out bodging though. I mean, I tried to take the wood off that old desk, it just would not come apart.
Yeah.
When we bodge something, it stays bodged. Such a weird combination. Then I'm going to put the whole red on and pull that down into the shade there, and that's what's actually giving this colour. I'm very much pre-highlighting the underneath and then putting thin layers over the top, and it's coming up nice and sharp and it's actually working quite well for me.
As you can see, I'm really just trying to emphasise the highlights. The cool thing about doing it this way is you get a really, really striking effect with very little actual effort.
Yeah.
I
just can't get over the fact you've got your Games Workshop butt plug.
Oh, hey, don't diss the plug. I haven't tested it out yet.
I don't know what the audience thinks, man, but I'll take Coke stands any day. They cost me 2p.
Well, it was a birthday present.
You can't turn it down, but I'm just enjoying the fact you're now sitting there with your Games Workshop butt plug.
Yep. But in all fairness,
is it comfy?
Yeah, they are comfy. It's not, because it's obviously sloped inwards slightly, so you get a nice grip on it, and it does grip the base well. So, what can you do?
You're gonna be some upper class painter now with your high end gear.
Yeah, high end gear. But yeah, I suppose I quite like it. Just alter the camera a little bit, just to turn it away from me. That's a little better. Let's do this. Sorry about the banging. Just straighten the camera out a little bit, get a better angle on it. Oh, my neck looks like an earthquake.
Yeah, it does that because of the neck on it.
Yeah, because the dead springy necks. But I mean, they cost next to nothing, didn't they?
Yeah, they were alright. They just viced to the desk.
Yeah. In typical Bigmeks style.
Yeah, and then we just gaffer taped the cameras to the neck.
Yeah, we really need a photo of our.
It's better than it used to be. It used to be an old lamp that we cut the head off, and then.
Yeah. At least it's a proper goose.
And then we screwed that to a bit of wood, and screwed the bit of wood to the other bit.
Yeah.
There has been some improvements along the way.
The shelves aren't great because we made them.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a carpenter.
No, and I've got a weird fence on mine.
Yeah, because Paul interfered with somebody else building your project for you, and then glued it on the wrong way. So if you can imagine your painting shelves going the normal way, horizontally. Well, there's a shelf on top of Andy's shelf that's glued on. It's got... The section should have been horizontal. It's been flipped the other way, so one shelf has now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 different brackets coming up, and then another shelf on top.
Great. It's absolutely useless.
Yeah. And now you have to find things to fit in the compartments.
Yeah, because it's a really awkward size. The large bottles don't fit.
Yeah.
You can get 2.5 small bottles in, or 3 dropper pots side by side.
Yeah.
It's crap.
It would have been amazing
if it had been on the side.
Yeah, if it had been left alone like it was supposed to be.
Oh. Yeah, man.
I had some good times hanging out with those guys, though.
Yeah. Was it Gavin? The guy who used to do all the carpentry?
I think it was Gavin.
Oh,
yeah.
Gary.
Gary, he was really good at it.
Yeah. You just ask him to do something, and all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, he'd come back, is this alright for you? It's like, what? That's far better than I wanted.
Yeah.
I will credit to where it's due though, Paul. He put his shift in, and if you needed a light in,
wasn't lazy.
No, it was like, can we have some lights here, Paul? Yeah,
Boom,
no worries.
get on it.
Boom, lights everywhere. So, alright.
Stefano, why is Typhus blue though? Is there nothing we can do to cheer him up? I like it. We'll try and give him a much nicer paint job, maybe.
It's because of the infections.
Yeah, and we could take him down to the STD clinic. That'll cheer him up. Make sure he's got all of them.
Yeah. See what antibiotics he needs.
The reason he is blue is because the day I started painting it, I didn't know what colour scheme to use, so I just asked my girlfriend to pick a colour. She chose blue. So Typhus is blue. I don't mind doing him in blue.
It's different, isn't it?
And I struggle with blues. It's not one of my strong points.
Which is good for you then in that respect.
Yeah, it gives me a bit of a challenge. I am really liking this colour combination. I'm glad we got those paints.
Well, like you say, we got them on sale, man. Oh, you got
Sorry, I meant the colour combination, guys, for the armour that the trim I'm now doing.
Yeah, the 2 orange colours. Yeah, man.
This knee pad's the best bit so far. That looks clean, and it's 3-4 colours. It's just those 2 new ones and a bit of Mahove.
This section here, yeah?
Yeah, the top bit.
Yeah,
that started to come in nice.
Yeah, that was a really interesting colour. So I do like it because I do like the colour scheme what you've gone for.
Palette.
It might be interesting to just try and add in a little bit of the sort of a traditional green into the lower section.
I'm going to do that for the flesh. I'm going to save it for any fleshy bits and the nurgling. They're going to be a toxic-y yellow green.
Yeah, got you. So I was thinking maybe to make this section sort of more of a greeny blue.
I can see what you're thinking. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a nice colour. That's from the.
That is just
Hull red.
The US flat brown and a little bit of Mahove white from, and maybe a bit of purity white where I need it.
Yeah. Nice.
So. And Grendel's Typhus STDs are like Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yep.
Finally, we're finally attracting people to the live stream with our sense of humour. Let the community grow. And Stefano says, Blue only get a bad rep because the Emperor's Smurfs monopolised it. They really did.
Yeah. Gonorrhea, I choose you.
Oh no. It's going to be one of those days, is it? Life goal. Get a disease named after you.
Well, he has.
Yeah. Well, he's technically named after an actual life goal. Get a disease named after you. Just because.
There is a woman. Oh, no, was it?
Is it Karen?
Yeah, possibly. Or she was nicknamed after Typhus, because she's called Typhoid Mary.
Yeah. Why does she sound like someone important in history? Typhoid Mary.
I think it's something to do with the extermination camps.
Ah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that because my brain.
Are your brain itching now, is it?
Yeah, it's like I have a question. Needs answering. Someone Google it for me.
You have some small amount of ADD going on there.
I do have a bit of OCD when it comes to, I think I'd rather have a condition named after me. Yeah, fair one.
Don't forget to read out the other comments on Twitter for our viewers as well, please, Andy.
That was from Disco Magma on Twitch.
Okay. Yeah. Those who don't know, we actually stream in 2 different places, and if you want to see what's going on Andy's desk, jump over to Twitch, and if you're watching on a reasonable sized screen, just keep both windows open and mute the mic.
Yeah.
As we both use the same audio anyway.
Yeah, we've got a linked audio system, kind of, by virtue of us being sat next to each other. Or a disorder by, as Disco's just said as well.
Disorder? That's my favourite type of order.
Yeah. So, by virtue of us sitting next to each other, you can get both of our audios and watch 2 different desks because we're always doing something different.
Yeah, we were going to do that in the initial setup of this, and then I just kind of gave in because it was a lot of work. And I got this working to a degree, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, we're proper tech gurus, us two.
No, you have warp energy, and
sorry,
every
time.
Gremlin. Yeah, every time you even stand near it. I had Andy's entire Twitch setup, came round, switched it on. The second Andy sat next to it,
boom.
Yeah, it just decided it didn't want to work
it
anymore.
It literally powered down as I sat down. It was bizarre. And I'd love to say that was unusual, but it's far from it.
No. Plenty of weird warp energy and heresy around here.
Yep. So this is 50-50 of Fenrisian Grey and Hellbound Flesh by Scale 75. For the second to last highlight, just to really brighten up these nice highlight spots. And getting these Legion of the Damned geezer ready for the next step.
I think that after painting, was it the other day?
Yeah.
This is the best I've painted this style after having a break since I started trying to learn it.
Oh, you're starting to get back into the rhythm pretty much quicker
Yeah,
now,
pretty quickly. And I don't seem to be overthinking what paint's going on the brush in what order.
Yeah.
As I'm using the loaded brush technique, I learned that from bullet painting videos, and I've been trying to emulate it because I'm naturally a very slow painter.
I'm just gonna get a little bit of a closer image. I think it's a little bit far away for you guys watching on the Twitch stream. See if we can get a better image for you. Once the webcam software. Oh god, wrong button.
This is where Andy just suddenly disappears from the internet completely.
Yeah, it's like I've literally been kicked off of the planet or something. That's better.
I'm really liking that whole red. And it's not being painted on as its own colour, it's just being used like a wash, and you see there it's almost staining the pre-highlights. So if I'd painted this zenithal, this would go on really, really nicely. That's much better. Sorry about the focus. Trying to record any miniature painting is a pain.
It's thankless, isn't it, at times?
Yeah, because you're always moving around without realising it. And when you're into your project,
you move around a hell of a lot.
Yep.
That's why a lot of my early videos are large stretches of my finger or thumb.
Yes. Or you just completely your hand and the model's not even on camera whatsoever.
Yeah.
You did get a lot better though. And I say that because no one else, I don't think other people have seen how bad it used to be.
Oh God, it was terrible.
So I want this almost orangey colour here. I might have to zoom in a little bit just to get that going. Whatever. I'm having one of them days, mate.
Words.
I also drank 3 coffees, so I'm tired.
That's backwards.
ADD, mate.
I'll drink coffee.
Yeah, usually one would help focus my mind because it'd slow it down, and then yeah, within like an hour and something of being up, I drank like 3 or 4 coffees. So now my brain's half asleep.
My brain would be firing on all cylinders at that point. I'd be hallucinating or something.
Yeah.
3 coffees in. My mild allergy to coffee's ace.
Hopefully that's a better image for the live stream. We can see what's going on better.
I do like my mild allergy.
Mild allergy to
caffeine.
Yeah?
Yeah, it makes me start hallucinating when I drink too much too quickly.
You lucky bastard! You lucky bastard!
On that note, John Cleese has confirmed that he's not removing any of the remotely iffy scenes from.
Go on, John Cleese, get him shown.
Of course, he's a legend.
Yeah. Oh, I love John Cleese.
So I think we're talking. I think the scene we're referring to is the stoning one.
No, you can't remove that.
No, because it's funny.
Yeah.
Was a chick's dressed as a dude stoning a chick for dressing like a dude.
Oh, is it offensive now? It wasn't offensive before you lot got here, so shut up.
This film's older than you. Behave. And finally, just tiny touches of Hellbound Flesh, just right on the extreme points. Get them.
So I'm going to try and demonstrate a little bit on this when Andy's finished. What I'm trying to do with this, try and get a better image of it. Put some wet paint down, some water down. But what we're doing is we're using the US Flat Brown by Model Air, mixing that with a little bit of the Mahove White from Scale 75, really highlighting the corner that we want highlighted, really bright. Then we're just going to go back over that with the whole red. Sorry, I'm struggling to remember the names because we've only just got these 2 paints today.
For an absolute bargain.
Doesn't make half price on paints. I don't know why they'd be reduced. Are they going off or something?
They've probably just been in the store for ages and no one's bought them. That's it, they're stoning him for saying Jehovah. Love it. That was Disco Magma on Twitch. He's saying that they were stoning him for saying Jehovah.
Yeah. Well, you just said it.
And everyone winds up getting stoned. It was bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. Now the dude running the thing gets stoned because he keeps saying Jehovah during the conversation.
Yeah, because he's convicting somebody.
Which is actually John Cleese.
Yes.
Just John Cleese overreacting to anything is always hilarious.
Yeah. I love the bit in one of the Monty Python shows where he kicks the hell out of his car with a bush.
Yes. And this will then be the whole red, and that, once I put that over, you see how the underneath colour gets that extra tone. It's definitely needed.
As you can see, you focus the strongest highlights right in the upper sections where the light hits. You do get a really cool looking effect. I don't claim credit for this. This technique was taught to me by a video what I watched, and
well, we all learn somehow, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the first person I ever started watching for painting tutorials was Orc Painter Nerd.
Yeah.
Orc Painter Nerd, Lester Bursley.
Yep.
I loved Lester
Bursley,
Bursley's paint schemes.
The first guy I started watching was By Painted.
Yes, he was up there as well.
I used to watch him a lot.
I don't even know if he uploads. I don't think he uploads anymore.
I don't think so. I watched a lot of his stuff, and his was like, here is box. I put emulsion in box.
That's what it always felt like. It's like I just pour paint in the box, I shake it up, and model is finished.
Yeah, Polish dude. I think it was Polish anyway.
Yeah.
That way on. But yeah, he creates some really nice stuff. And I've moved on since then I watched a bit of Angel Raldes. He's an absolute machine. And sometimes I watch some Vince Venturella. He does some really nice stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen his stuff.
I really wanted to like watching Girl Painter.
That voice
Yeah.
is, and there's nothing against her as a painter or a creator or anything. It's it's so weird.
Yeah, I just can't get behind. I have to watch her in mute. I can't watch her otherwise. Cause her Girl Painter stuff's really really nice, and she uses some really cool colours together.
Yeah.
I learned how to do sandstone by watching her stuff. So yeah, does some really good stuff, but I just can't get the voice because it's so thickly German accented.
Yeah.
Speaking in English, I struggle to listen. I find her voice quite distracting, and that's the beauty of this entire thing. There's so many people out there
with so many different
styles and accents and whatever. There's
not just the styles of the painting either, like the styles of producing content.
Yeah, there's that many people that if something doesn't work for you,
just find somebody else.
Yeah.
And then, like we were saying about these chats we've got going on, I'm hoping we get the dirty-minded lot that don't mind a bit of vulgarity and hanging out painting.
Yeah, that's it. We want people who are willing to banter with us.
Yeah, we find banter at the painting table. It goes a long way.
Yeah, it really does help. Distracts the brain a bit.
Aye. I mean, the tasks are very repetitive.
Yeah. Right, I need black metal.
You need black metal. I'm not sure if I currently have that on my desk or not.
What's that?
No, it's actually where it should be.
I know, who'd have thought her. Saying that, I'm going to put some this paint back together where it should be. For some reason I've got moves out.
So currently I'm just using 4 colours for this for his trim, but I am liking where it's going, even though my paint job right now is not as smooth as it could be.
It usually takes you a little while to get back into the swing of things, doesn't it?
Although I think I'm definitely getting quicker.
That's good.
Sorry, the recovery time from taking a day or 2 off with this scheme is getting quicker, as I've only been doing this for about a month now.
Something like
Some
that,
of our actual work days, about a month. Which isn't bad for learning an entire new style of painting.
Yeah, 'cause it's not like going from layering to glazing or anything like that, which are fairly similar.
Mixing stuff on the model. It's
yeah, it's much closer to wet blending.
Yeah. Occasionally, I'm quite happy with the blends and the results I get. Sometimes not so much. But the whole purpose of me trying to learn this was once I've mastered it, it's just the top layer, the highlight, and the shadow all done in a few minutes, hopefully.
I'm sure you'll find a way of making it take longer.
that does tend to be a pattern with me. It's like, this job needs doing. I'll do it later, and then it never gets done.
Or I'll find a really slow way of doing it.
Yep.
So this is scale 75 black metal. Really nice colour. It's slightly darker than Iron Breaker by G-Dub. So you get a really good base layer for any metal work on it.
Is it the one that looks like you've done a Games Workshop and a wash?
Yeah, it's that sort of shade. It's like having a wash on it before you put the wash on. So it's a really nice dark silver.
Saves you a step as well.
It can do, but it still looks better if you put the wash over it.
No, any extra effort is usually a reward.
Yeah, any extra effort is usually its own reward, isn't it? Zoom out slightly.
Don't think I want that leg enough.
Off for camera. So, what projects you guys got going on? You got anything interesting you working on? I keep getting tempted with doing armies on parade.
You could.
But it's a bit perfect choice for it, actually. It is basically an army what I'm doing specifically to look cool.
You've got the skills.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, no, you set yourself.
I've got the time.
You set the time. Maybe, but no, you set yourself short. I've been watching you paint for years. I've seen plenty of improvements. That's a little bit more of the Mojave white. Scale 75, but
It's just a shame I've run out of skulls. So I would have liked to have gone back to replacing the putting skulls on, the exhaust ports on the backpack.
Oh, just for the kit bash.
Yeah, just for that, But I suppose on regular Marines, it's not really that important. Again, it's an easy job, so I can always come back and do it later, can't I?
True. Yeah, you could do. You don't have to cut them off with razor saw.
Yeah, a quick belt with razor saw, job done.
I'm trying to add a little bit of a black to this. A whole red. But it may end up going a bit too dark now. And lucky me, I've got tiny pipes to paint in between these bits as well to make them stand out.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's a lovely model, but there's a lot of detail.
Typical G-double character, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, this detail work needs more detail. So, thanks.
So learning this technique and there's new ways of obviously there's different ways of lighting this now. If it was just glazing, the whole time I would be making sure the light's in the right place because it's very easy to do. Whereas this,
you need to pre-plan every position.
Yeah, you need to pre-plan where your highlight and your shade's going to be, which makes it a bit different and a bit more difficult currently. I'm sure I'll get the knack of this over time. It's not the smoothest of paint jobs.
It's looking cool though, it's different.
Yeah. I mainly wanted to start getting the trim done today, so there's something new to look at on camera and it starts to break up the shape, because no one wants to watch a model when there's a massive chunk of black on it for ages.
Yeah.
So first I'll be applying water. This makes it easier to move the paint around that surface, but I don't want to put too much on.
We really need to figure out how to get images up on our chat logs, so we can do meme of the day.
Yes, there's a lot for me to learn.
Meme of the day will be ace, and
probably
strikes.
Spicy. Yeah,
it would get some strikes. As a military veteran, I'm on a lot of the military chat groups, and there's some spicy meatballs on them.
So you want your meatballs?
Yeah, man. You do get some pretty tasty memes.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, we get some brutal ones. It's great.
You get some of the best memes, mate. I keep going out of focus there. I've not let that water dry to the surface enough, and that's just ran straight in there now. Into all the grooves. Lovely.
Basically, take your paint or wash.
Yep.
That's
it happens quite a lot using this technique.
I can see that, yeah, I can understand that. Like say you're painting on a wet surface, you've got to be really careful to make sure that the consistency is just right, haven't you?
Aye. I think it's just one of those skills you pick up over time. You'll be able to eventually just look at the water on the surface and know when it's dry enough.
Practice makes perfect and all that lot.
Aye. I think it'd be one of those skills that you pick up over time without thinking about it too much, though.
Yeah. Well, it's one of them, isn't it? The more you do it, the more you're going to be able to just judge it right, just off the bat.
I think you just do it subconsciously for the most part. Like a bricklayer, it's like eventually, he's barely not gonna need. He's not gonna need to muck around with any of the other bits and pieces. It's like bricks on super quick.
Yeah.
Okay, get that darker colour in there.
Yeah, that wall is straight by virtue of me having built it.
Pretty much.
It's no plumb lines or anything like that. It's just like boom, done.
Right.
Now, I have no idea if assault intercessors are good in 9th. And obviously I don't know if they're going to be any good in 10th at all. But I've decided assault intercessors, of course, we had some knocking about.
Why not? Yeah, we've got a bunch of those kicking around like. Right, so we're back to the US brown, flat brown.
I reckon the heavy intercessors, the heavy weapon ones, would fit the army better though.
Yeah.
I think they'd just suit the theme really nicely. Just dudes walking around with heavy bowlers. That's a call centre.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck off.
Be gone!
Yeah, you have to excuse me while I ignore these twats. Call centre.
For the sake of honesty, just so you know, I will be on this call naked.
I mean, is there another way to take phone calls?
Not from call centres now.
Yeah, it's usually one of them scam calls, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I know how to give you some money.
No, you don't.
Right.
Or I work at Curry's. It's like, that's funny, I have no business with Curry's right now whatsoever. My favourite ones are the ones that just phone you up and say, this is about your internet, okay? And it's like, oh, okay, it's just about my internet. What company is this? What's my internet company? Who are you?
Okay, Disco Magma's got his minis out, but he can't be asked. He's off for a shower. See you chaps when they're streaming again. We will be streaming again tomorrow if you're not coming back. Obviously, we're going to be streaming till around about 4 o'clock later. So catch you later, Disco, and take it easy.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
Great to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to have regulars. Don't be afraid of the chat box, guys. Like,
yeah,
it really does help us out when people start talking to us, because
it gives us more stuff to talk about. Otherwise, you guys just listen to us talk utter bull.
Yeah, which is what we'll do just to stop ourselves from going insane. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Victorian brass for the eagle and the
Oh, I love the coverage from Victoria
skull
Brass.
thing
It goes on
his
so
arm.
smooth.
Yeah, it's nice. So it's a Aquila and the weird sort of imperial logo on his wrist, and the cross guard on his sword, etc., etc., etc.
I wasn't expecting you to do Loyalists this morning.
Neither was I. But I've got one of the new groovy Loyalist land speeders, and they are really cool.
Are they going to be...
I'm gonna go for this. That was the entire purpose. One of them ones.
Cool.
One of those bad boys, a Storm Speeder, I think they're called. Yeah. Looks like, apparently, by the looks of things, it can be made to be all three without any magnets as well. I think looks like this push fit for the guns,
Oh.
which is particularly handy.
I think Games Workshop should start putting that into more models actually.
Yeah, I dare say the newer kits are kind of be more likely to be like that. And credit to them with the Primaris stuff. The Primaris stuff does look good for the most part.
So if that keeps going out of focus, guys, it's a bit of an awkward bit to paint. At least on camera.
But I'm a bit of a fluff nerd, so I
You
don't
are.
like the backstory for the Primaris. The Emperor made Space Marines as the pinnacle of humanity and all that lot, and then some random tech priest made them better.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
I'm still under the same opinion we had all those years ago. They should have just been like, look, we're making the Space Marines bigger now. And everyone had been like, yay!
We've only been wanting that forever.
That would have been that.
Yeah. I mean, now the backstory's been fleshed out a little bit, it's a lot less derpy, but it's still basically some random tech priest going, I'm gonna make Space Marines be on Space Marine.
Yeah. I don't see how that would happen. It just seems like one of those bits of fluff that's there because it's necessary.
Yeah, we need to have a reason. You know, maybe if we could have just gone, yeah, this is an unfinished project by the Emperor at the end of, mid-Great Crusade.
Yeah, that would have
So,
worked.
And then Cole gone, oh right, I've got all these notes. Let's make this let's finish this job. And it still hasn't taken him 8,000 years to do it because he's not the Emperor. That I could almost get behind.
Almost.
Yeah. I say I love the lore, and when Primaris Marines came out, I was like, really. I actually was reluctant to play against them because the lore was that utterly bull. I was really salty about it.
Aye.
They had no to do
They
with.
do make great models.
But yeah, they look really good.
That's something you definitely want. But I still think they could have just released them as like, look, you can now use the old Space Marine models, but we've started to release new ones, and eventually we'll phase those out so people can just,
Yeah, that's it.
buy the new kits.
Yeah, rather than it being a Space Marine, Primaris Marine Intercessor Squad,
It's just Space Marine Squad.
Space Marine Intercessor Squad.
Yeah.
You've got your Tactical Squad, which has got one set of weapons. The Intercessor Squad will got a different set of weapons.
Problem solved.
Law, not broken. But it's been like a bunch of years, about 3 years now since it started, so we've had time to calm down. Have you managed to calm down about...
No.
You won't even let me finish it.
No, I have not calmed down. I am still absolutely fuming.
Thing is, though, you haven't got as much time invested as I have.
No, you've read all the books, and for those that don't know what we're on about
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, and no, I haven't calmed down at all. Like, well, a little bit. I'm able to talk about it a bit now.
Yeah, so I read all the books before it became popular. I started reading them back in 21. I found it whilst I was I was on duty in Ireland, and I was bored one day, because I was off duty. And we had a little library, and that was on there. I was like, oh, what's this? It turned out to be like the second book in the series, or the third book in the series.
Just read that.
I read that, got hooked, read all the books, looked at the cast when the series was coming out. I was like, my God, this is exactly what I would put in.
Yep.
And then we went and balked it.
Yeah, they completely screwed it all up.
For, you know...
They just didn't care by the end, and that's really irritating.
Yeah, the early stuff was so good. Even some of the later stuff.
Yeah.
But when it got towards that last season...
It annoys me so more that they were given more episodes and time.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we'll just round it off like this. It's like, really?
All that build-up with the White Walkers, and then they had one scene.
Yeah.
That really annoyed me. It's like there's so much build-up.
And the whole scene was far too dark.
Yeah, you couldn't even see him.
You couldn't make out what the hell was going on. It's like, who...
It wasn't a battle of Winterfell, it was a battle of darkness, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't even a battle, everyone was just stumbling over each other. No one turned lights on. Ah, my sword!
Who stabbed me?
Right.
You'd have thought someone would have gone out there with
But
a
the
torch.
ending was so bad that I just refused to watch any of it now, and there was so much good in it.
Yeah.
There was so many scenes I loved, so much story, and because of the ending, I'm just never watching it again now, so I never get to watch the Hound being badass or...
Tyrion being ace.
Yeah, none of that, because they spoiled the ending of the story and I know how it ends, and I'm like, bollocks to you.
I mean, that fight scene between the Viper and the Giant, the Mountain, sorry.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
They couldn't even sell the ending to anybody. Peter Dinklage is an amazing actor.
Superb.
Right? Superb. But even he couldn't act hard enough to convince us that Bran had a better story than Thingy. I mean, he gave it his all, you know what I mean? And we're still there going, yeah, but you don't even believe that. Your character doesn't believe that. You know this doesn't make sense.
You can't even convince yourself, which else are you going to convince us?
He tried, though. He tried.
Mate, that's the acting. The acting was quality on that.
Absolutely superb.
But he couldn't convince himself, man.
And that's not a criticism on him. I mean,
it was a criticism on the scene.
On the scene
No,
and the
exactly.
writing. You're like, what? It didn't make any sense. These people have only just met Bran. They've all been fighting over the throne forever.
And he just rocked up.
He just walks up and goes, yo, I'm a crippled three-eyed raven dude. Give me the crown. And everyone's like, alright then.
No worries.
What?
We've only been at war for the last 2 years.
It made no sense.
Where have you been at war? I was in a cave.
Who's clarifying this for him? What, the other two that were with him that were like wildlings or whatever, or wherever they were.
Oh,
Yeah, that no one knows either. So why would anyone take their word on anything? Just these random strangers rock up and just take the throne.
Yeah. Alright then. No
Right,
worries.
I'm starting to get annoyed now. We're not talking about this anymore.
Go get a coffee. Get a Snickers.
I can't eat those now at the moment.
Oh, you're still in your keto, aren't you?
Yeah, back on keto.
I'm just stiff as a board at the minute.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been using the weights?
Yeah, I literally added a third to everything by using them weights I borrowed off you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it.
That's what you want. It's the main reason everyone, when working out, would hate leg day, because you feel it, but they support your body. So when you stand up, you feel like you're going to collapse all the time after leg day. Proper jelly legs.
I do a sort of an all-round workout, so
Yeah.
I don't have a specific leg.
You
or
do
arm.
like is it HIIT cardio? Or...
And I do cardio as well.
Yeah.
Which is superb for your legs.
Aye. Yeah, anyone watching can tell our conversations will just randomly change direction. For 1 minute, it's Game of Thrones. Next minute, working out.
And it's not like we're gym buddies either. We're just trying to
I'm not doing any working out.
You're not working out, but you're on a diet.
It's a great diet.
I'm cutting back on some of the crap I eat, but working out.
Yeah.
But I don't do gyms because people.
Tell you, once your kid moves out, mate, try the keto. It's brilliant. I mean, I'm just eating cheese and meat. So that's bacon and cheese, just anything and cheese. Basically, all the good stuff.
Cheese.
Like burgers,
and cheese.
Burgers, steaks, ribs, you name it.
Can't do that though, because it's all about the fat you need in a keto diet. And even when Dylan's out, we'll not be able to do it because Sarah has to eat incredibly low fat stuff, otherwise it balls her stomach up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah, so she'd be sat there, well, not as she eats anyway. But, yeah, she'd be in a right tangle eating some of the stuff you do.
Yeah. I do eat a lot of bollocks, like just random, just anything. Well, until recently, till I went back on keto. Like me and Jen would just would have like a cheat day after like a month or so on keto when the weight's dropped off. So we just decided to eat all the carby stuff this weekend.
It's like, yay, chocolate and beer!
It got to a point end of the weekend, we'd ordered food, there was still food left over around the sofa, and we just laid there watching Better Call Saul like, I'm done with the binge eating now. You know when you just feel proper dirty, you're like, I don't want any more crappy food.
It literally comes out in your sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know you've eaten too much crap when it does that.
Yeah, you actually start to feel uncomfortable.
It's like, my skin feels greasy.
Yeah, that's the one. Right, the Model Air paint, if you can see it, I've not added any water to this, it's just separating quite a bit.
See, I really need to get around to watching.
So I need to mix that back up.
Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad first.
Yeah.
Because if you watch it the other way round, you'll be very disappointed.
But yeah, I do need to get around to watching them. What's the series I'm watching at the minute? Actually, I've not been watching series recently. I need to catch up on Chosen because there's a second series out for that.
Don't think I've ever watched it.
I enjoy it. I mean, you know as well as anybody, I'm a bugger for historical storylines anyway. Yeah. And although it's about Jesus, it's still interesting because it's historical, and I'm more invested in the stuff what's happening around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rather than the
biblical story, I'm like watching the characters moving around him. But it's from the perspective of all his mates.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed the first series. Apparently, like I said, I think there's a second series out. I need to catch up with that. And there's a new Jake Gyllenhaal film that's on Netflix what I want to watch. I think it might be of the same name.
The Pied Piper asks, have you seen Gear Guts Mech Shop?
No.
No.
Who's that?
I'll have to check that out.
Is he a streamer, a YouTuber? I've never heard of that one. Good to know, I'll check that one out. Once we know a bit more about him. I need to be green.
Spoken like a true orc. Needs to be green.
Need more green.
I'm actually looking forward to painting one of my orcs now. I'm getting the knack of this the paint scheme and style a little bit more.
I've got that fantasy of what Sarah got me for Christmas. Was it last year's birthday?
I love how we've got all these models around. You've got all these models as well. And it's like I don't know when I got those, but it could have been years of just models sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, it's still in its cellophane, mate.
Yeah, I think everyone's got those collections. I've got Zagstruck somewhere, just sat there, not built, not painted, and some Commandos.
Well, it's because you convert everything.
That is
Sarah
true.
just wanted to get me something a little bit different. And it's a really nice model. And I do enjoy painting greenskins from time to time.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Main reason I want to paint them is the large lips on the face. Shut up, Andy, because I can try and master the fine brushwork.
Don't go down that joke line. I will get strike.
Yeah, don't do that one with your spicy meatballs.
You are now banned from the universe.
Yeah. Now leaving simulation. Oh, that would be something. You are now banned from the simulation. Oh, damn it.
It's not even real, I'm banned. What?
I mean, how bad have you got to be banned from the simulation? I mean, even Hitler stayed around a while.
Yeah, just look what he did.
To be fair, say what you want about Hitler, he did actually kill Hitler.
Did I tell you that one?
I think I nicked it from somewhere else. It's a fair point, though.
It is. He's better at killing Hitler than all the people who tried to assassinate him.
Yeah, if you want something done right, do it yourself.
Oh God, we're not going to last long on the stream, are we?
Probably not.
Be right.
Let's have fun while we can.
Yeah. Before the moderators go, nope.
Hey, these guys are having too much fun.
So, did they just say what I think they just said? No? Depends what you think we've just said.
Yeah, but what we said might not necessarily be what we mean. It won't be long for you're not allowed to say anything.
Probably a lot easier doing it that way. You know what? Keep your mouth shut. Can't get in trouble for that.
I can definitely get into trouble for keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah.
It's a skill I've got. I might start mixing some black into this part here, so I have to be very sparing when doing this technique with the black pigment because it spreads so far. So I'm going to start with a little bit of whole red, keep forgetting its name, and a little bit of the flat black from scale of 75, just a small amount. Hopefully that's not too much. And then
balls.
what are you doing?
Two paints really close to each other, similar colours, one of which is the metallic.
Oh, I've done that a few times with the Purity White and the Alchemy White. I think my flat black's a little bit drier than it needs to be.
Alright, and some washes onto his gold bits. So I'm using, this is what? Agrax. I'm glad I pay attention to what paint I'm using. It'd be really helpful remembering, actually looking at the names rather than just at the pot. You'd think I'd have learned that by now.
Yeah, but we did used to, as I said, we've got a message. Grandel says, any plans for the Leviathan box as far as paint schemes, chapters, high fleets?
We're not even sure if we're going to pick one up. As we're hobbyists first, really. I've got a small marine army, but neither of us are interested particularly in NIDs, are we?
I do kind of like them. I'd like to find a cool scheme for them, like something from like anything from Monster Hunter, like the Lobster Effects. I did.
Lobster Effects.
Lobster Effects was cool, but you know, it's just horde armies. Like I've got a horde army already.
They're soul crushing, aren't they?
Yep.
And the new Redemptor Dreadnought, the Belistarus Dreadnought or whatever it's called, the Ballistus Dreadnought.
Don't think I've
It's
seen it
basically it's the gun platform Dreadnought, twin lance cannon rocket
okay.
launcher. But he looks like he skipped leg day.
Ah.
So you got the Redemptor hull, yeah.
Yep.
So big chunky body with the weapon mounted arms.
Yeah, which will make it look really big.
Yeah, but they're not full arms, they're just his shoulder mounts. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he's got really spindly legs. And it just looks really weird.
You'd think if the model was designed for absolute fire support,
Give
then like
it
it'd have
chunky,
really chunky legs.
Yeah, you know, proper, like give it extra supports down its lower regions.
Yeah.
That would make it look really cool.
You
And
could always
maybe give
convert
it,
those on.
and maybe rather than give it the shoulder mounted arms, you know, like the old box dreadnought used to have.
Over the top.
No, go for
Underslung.
arm mounted guns. You know,
Yeah.
like the current Redemptor, the standard kit's got an arm mounted assault Gatling cannon.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying.
Have the weapons mounted like that, so it looks more like the Redemptor, just with different guns.
Yeah,
And
makes
maybe
sense.
give it an overhead rocket launcher of some kind as well. But what you've got is just something that looks like a crap hybrid of a Redemptor and a box dreadnought with spindly legs. Crap. I do like the Terminators though. I really like the stern guard, and the Flamer Marines would fit so nicely into this Legion of the Damned army. That'd literally be my troop units.
Yeah.
Yeah, just blokes with flamers. Legion of the Damned. It's all
Yeah.
about fire, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do with my own.
Flamers everywhere. I don't worry about hit rolls. Why? Flamers. I need to worry about range.
Yep.
I'll see if I can find an image of the Belistarus Dreadnought thing.
This is where you're trying to do something different with your computer and it all breaks because warp energy. You and your chaos warp.
Yeah.
So if Andy suddenly disappears off his live stream, you know where he's gone. Random crying baby. Apparently these mics don't pick up a lot of the excess noise though.
Yeah.
Yeah, John was saying. I'm kind of happy with where this is going.
So yeah, I like the Stern Guard. They're cool. The characters are cool. I really like the Psyker. Literally everything apart for the Marines, everything apart from the Dreadnought. I don't like the Dreadnought at all. Oh, and the Lieutenant, of course. I think we just threw him in.
Just
Of course, it's
bonus character.
Where's the Lieutenant? There we are. We can get a bigger image. Okay, I managed to make that image smaller. Good effort, Andy.
I can see what you mean about the spin of the legs. It looks like it topple over.
Yeah.
Why have they done that?
There you go. That's the current one. That's a new one.
Yeah. I would just customise the legs.
That's the original old one.
Yep. I mean, looking at it now, those legs kind of do look a bit spindly, but no, it's because these other legs are taller for the new one.
Yeah.
They're higher off the ground, so it looks like it would fall over.
Ah, yeah, there you are. There's the current Redemptor. See how it's got an actual arm mounted for its gun.
Yeah.
I think that would look better. Its weapons are just too high up. It just looks weird.
It'd be a cool model to customise, probably. It is fixable.
It is,
But you shouldn't have to do the fixing.
No. You shouldn't have to fart about with customization to make something not look stupid.
That's very true. It is a bit of a bad design choice.
Yeah. Rest of the stuff, really like. Not so keen on the Lieutenant. Not over keen on him. But I think he was just thrown in because every edition has to have 85 Space Marine Lieutenants.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, even GW have started taking as a joke now as well.
Yeah, it's nice when they can take the piss out themselves.
Yeah. I like the new apothecary, and the idea behind him's really cool. Because he's not a medic; he's a scientist. He's there to help you kill the enemy rather than fix your blokes up.
That's kind of cool.
So I thought he was kind of a cool idea. Different take on the apothecary sort of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Obviously the Cyclops Ace. I really like the Stern Guard, and the new scaled up Terminators look so good.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of them on Instagram.
Yeah, they look really nice, don't they?
Yep.
And they look like the old Terminators, so you won't feel weird not buying the new ones. They're just bigger.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a weird mutation to wear Terminator armor anymore. And they've finally done away with the old Primaris versus Firstborn Marine bullshit. It basically, you have a Space Marine now.
Fair enough.
It only took them a full edition to do it. So Primaris Marines can get into drop pods and rhinos.
Hey.
It's like, why could you not before?
Because the other Space Marines hate them.
Probably.
Get out.
Get away with your crap backstory. You're contaminating us. I want to see what Fabius is doing with, well, one of the Fabius is doing with all the custodian.
One of the Fabiuses.
With the custody stuff, body parts he's been harvesting.
You don't want to know what Fabius is doing with body parts.
No.
It probably comes under the same category as the last word you allowed on Twitch.
Either necrophilia or spaz.
Yeah, so. I like how the dictionary on that's getting bigger. Right, this inside is not orangey enough. It's definitely an orangey colour I want to go for, but I can't go over the top with it because then it looks
stupid.
Too bright like this, and it starts to look like Thousand Suns. So on this side, again, it's the flat brown.
You know, if I were playing Black Templars, I'd be happy with that. Yeah. It'd be done.
So what's that, mate?
Because all the silvers and the all the blacks done. It's literally a case of put some white on the shoulder pads and you're good to go. Oh, I'm not. What colour should I paint the chainsaw?
Pink. Oh, you actually sat there the whole time staring at me. It could be pink.
It could be, yeah, but I think,
Nah, it ruin the effects of the flames and take away from it. I would say hazard stripes, but again, I'll take unless you do a really dark burnt umber hazard stripe.
Then it wouldn't stand out, so it wouldn't make the same sense, would it? Maybe just keep it black.
Yeah.
And let the flames do all the standing out thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not black. Maybe one of the model air range, something muted and down that would almost be black. An almost black colour, so it's a bit different.
Dark grey.
But one with a slightly blue
Well,
tone or a slightly green tone to it, something just slightly off.
I think a slightly blue tone to it wouldn't work because that's the colour of the power blades I'm using.
Oh, I mean, this is almost black at this point.
But
you know how I did the intercessors with the massive guns? The jump pack dudes?
Oh, yeah.
That kind of weapon colour.
Yeah.
So it barely shows up, but you can, the eye can tell the difference. That way you're not looking at a solid black. It's what I would do. I'd do it for the guns as well, probably.
Dark grey blue.
And then just keep shading it down and make it darker until it goes to black. Just something to separate the armour and the weapons. Right, back to painting this weird browny orange.
One of the many benefits of painting alongside a friend is you can talk about colours and get a bit of different perspective to it.
Yep. I think that's one of the benefits of painting round the painting tables in Games Workshop is
there's always somebody else not
with a different opinion.
I agree, mate. It's very useful. And when you're chatting away, time goes a lot easier, so you can get more done.
That is also very true.
Being stuck with your own with music and your own voice in a monologue gets boring very quickly. Or weird.
Very weird. Okay. Just trying to concentrate on which colour I need to go next. So this will be again the flat brown, but I'm going to put a bit of the Mojave white from, just going to say 5 on the end of the brush. That might be a bit too much.
Alright. Leave that for a bit, let him dry up. Back to Robo Demon Man.
Yep, that was a bit too much, so now I'm going to have to wet blend that back in.
Time to do a bit of silver work.
It shouldn't be too much of a drama because I'm going to put the whole red over the top anyway. It does seem this flat brown likes to separate quite easily.
What, one of his Scale 75 paints?
Oh, this is the new Model Air one. It just
Oh,
seems
right.
to separate in the palette from its chemical base. You know, the ones that just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
These
The
are
blue
probably-
in here is doing it a little bit, but it's been in there a while, so that would make sense. But this is just fresh
Yeah.
out of the pot today. So.
It probably needs a proper good shake, which is probably down to its
Just agitate it for a while.
Yeah.
It's been probably sat on the shelf for some time
that'd explain why it's
on a discount.
on a huge discount.
Wasn't going to turn down that opportunity.
Damn right.
£1 per paint.
Yeah,
For
even if it
Vallejo
was the same
paints.
paints as we already had, it'd have
It's
been
still a
worth it.
bargain.
Yeah.
I kind of messed that up a little bit. Mucking around too much and
You
pulling
smoking
paint
a
off.
bear.
Eyes mucking about. I think that's what most of my life could be described as. If the gods are out there watching, what's he doing now? Well, mucking about is what he usually does.
Something stupid, probably.
Yeah, usually.
That's why he should not be named as your patron.
Yep.
I'm not talking Voldemort.
I don't know why. But that just seems to be the pattern of my life.
Yeah.
It's all part of the big joke though.
That's the problem though. We both get the joke. It's just we listen. We just want a day off.
Yeah. Just realising how vague we're being to anyone else out there listening. We'll get back to that subject another time.
Yeah.
Because my computer's already on its way out. It doesn't need any help. Okay, so I did smooth that out a little bit more. Get the highlight almost where I want to. But there's the lights coming from this side. I really need to brighten this up. But it is nice to see him with a bit of trim, break the model up. And I do realise I put water on this bit of the shoulder pad loads of times and still not painted it. Yeah, I keep getting distracted with the other side.
This time, I'm not doing non-metallic metals because that's annoying. That's why.
That's a good enough reason. I mean, it is very time consuming. A little bit of flat black and a little bit of that red.
Really unforgiving too.
I've never really tried it myself.
It's not difficult, but like I say, it's time consuming and unforgiving. You cock something up somewhere and it looks utterly stupid from that particular angle.
Yeah, and you're going to spend ages repairing it.
Yep. I spend enough time fixing my balls up as it is. Alright, that sounded a lot better in my head.
Yeah, one of those moments, eh? One of those spots that's very difficult to get my brush to go the angle I want because this.
Oh, did you pick up Blood for Blood God?
Bloody forgot, didn't I? I went everywhere else. Right? I remembered the Paint for Boys. I just forgot Blood for the Blood God.
No worries.
I'm sure we'll be back around in town at some point.
Well, yeah, I dare say I will be at some point. Or Sarah.
Me and Jen keep buying random plants and stuff for the garden.
I've got to keep Sarah away from plant stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because she doesn't have the allotment anymore.
Oh, she done? I was about to ask you about
Well, she gave up a couple of years back. Because
I'm guessing you probably told me and I've just forgotten.
Because obviously she was loving it. Now we've got a little allotment patch in back garden.
Don't have to travel as far.
But yeah, and her allotment patch was huge. It was like Old Trafford or something, you know what I mean? So it was just too much for her to work on her own. Because her dad got ill and he couldn't help anymore. The idea was it was between the two of them.
Yeah.
So it got too much for her. So she gave that up and took over back half of garden.
That's fair enough.
And she potters around in back garden now. So it's about the same size as the room, what we're in.
Yeah.
A little patch.
That's cool. You
Yeah,
grow a lot in that.
Yeah. So yeah, she potters around in back garden with the dog and cat. The cat's on a lead.
I thought for some reason the cat was following.
No, she put the cat follows around, but she puts it on a lead because it's a house cat, so it'll just get lost if it doesn't.
Brilliant senses by the cat's like, leaves goes in garden. Where am I? I'm a house cat. I don't know. This is not a house.
No, he's no longer terrified of pigeons.
Why was it terrified of pigeons in the first place? It's a cat.
He's a house cat. He never knew what a pigeon was, and he's quite small by cat sizes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's on the small end because there's a runt of a litter. So he's never going to be particularly big. But pigeon
Maybe that's what affected his mentality.
Like, yeah. Pigeons are massive compared to him. You know what I mean? They're like half his size. And come from above, and he's like, what's that?
Sketchish cat.
Yes. What did I expect, especially considering dog I've got?
Yeah.
Quote unquote dog.
You do have some very weird pets. You have a dog that's not a dog and a cat that's not very much like a cat.
No, it's not. It's more like a dog. I'll keep expecting him to meow at the door.
I do love your dog though. Those tiny legs are hilarious.
Yeah, she's cute as hell.
So basically, for those watching, it's like a staffy
For the body.
for the body and the head and everything, and then it's small to the ground like a sausage dog.
It's weird.
It looks proper bizarre. And it's the most peaceful dog I've ever met. You just look at it and it just rolls over. I submit.
Yay! So, yeah, I keep expecting the dog to meow at the door instead of because the dog doesn't bark.
Yeah, the cat will though.
Yeah, the cat will. He's sketchy. He is. He's always up to something. You know he's up to something because his eyes are open.
I like that one.
He is, man. He's proper shady. And he likes digging. That's
Yeah,
good.
why is your cat like a dog and your dog like a cat?
I don't know. It's bizarre.
That's Amazon business.
Yeah, my animals are strange.
When you're strange, no one remembers your name.
Love that film. It made me want to watch it.
Just that one bit.
Such a good film.
Yeah.
One thing I hate about here.
Yeah,
all the
I was just
goddamn
thinking
vampires.
That's the right way. That's the right way to end it. Like the whole time, Granddad knew it's all the goddamn vampires. Classic 80s style movie.
Yeah.
You know, when vampires were vampires.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they were vicious killing machines.
And
Not,
didn't sparkle in daylight.
not sparkly pedos. Twilight, you completely ruined vampires, you assholes.
We didn't do many favours to werewolves.
No, that's true.
Yeah, werewolves didn't come out looking great.
Nothing came out looking great. It was Twilight.
Yeah. My sister loves that movies and that. I just looked at it. It's like, what? Get out.
You are disowned.
You are no longer my sister. Be
Be
gone.
I am writing you out of my will.
You can have nothing of my nothing. Ha!
Well, that's technically half. And every other fraction.
Yeah. That showed you. I have nothing, but you're getting none of it.
You can have my bills.
That's part of the world no one wants, isn't it? Yeah. You can pay the bills.
You can have my debt.
Yay! Hang on.
Oh, that'd be great if you could do that in your will. Just be like, I don't like this guy, so I'm going to leave him all my debt.
David Cameron. I'm leaving David Cameron in my will. Hey, have all my debt. Sucks to be you, my friend. If you could do that, he would be broke very quickly.
Thinking of, I had things to say, and I was like, I should keep my mouth shut right now.
Are you thinking about pigs?
No, just generally very anti-political and just like, nope.
There's a bloke got arrested for that the other day.
What?
For basically saying anti-politician stuff and saying we should all die.
Yeah, because we're working our way into a dystopian nightmare. 40k is actually the future, guys.
Yeah,
It's where it's heading.
We have come to this conclusion.
You know, proper dystopian nightmare.
Yeah.
Right, see if I can repaint that. Might want to start with black actually for that bit before painting over it.
Yeah, because once you go black, you can't go back.
Bleach. Right, this was actually Victorian copper. Was it old copper?
I've got a tune stuck in my head now. I mean, I love In Excess. They're a brilliant band.
I'll have to do everything in excess.
And but yeah, I've got a song stuck in my head from a brilliant set film soundtrack with a brilliant soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Name of a film just popped out of my head.
I hate it when that happens.
I keep thinking Young Guns, but that's the cowboy one from the same era. Lost Boys.
Yeah, it's that.
Brilliant film, brilliant soundtrack.
Well, that was a very strange change there to the paint job. Very strange. This whole red does not react the way you think it does.
Nothing comes out the way you expect with that sort of style of painting.
Well, I only put a bit of the whole red over there, but whole red over the top of, I believe it was old copper. Yeah, it is old copper with pre-highlight. No, I think you'd like that colour actually, because we were comparing it to burnt umber originally. It has similar traits.
Yeah. It's the same level of darkness. It's just a bit more red in it, isn't it? Less on the brown sort of side of things.
Yeah, check out the right foot. The
Give me
right foot trim. I mean, that was a completely different colour, but I do like that hue that just went over it. Just toned everything very nicely. Now we have something that looks more like a rust than a, off yellow.
It's kind of what you were going for, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not going to do the whole thing like that because I'm trying to figure this out. But it does mean I should be able to get that colour onto the highlights of here actually and make it much more vibrant.
Show me. Show me. Where am I looking? That same
right foot trim, yeah, that I was doing the other day, and it was well too faded. It just made that so much more rich.
Yeah. This here, yeah.
Yeah, all I did was I tried to just paint straight over it. Over the old copper with the little bits of highlight in it.
That looks really nicely. Like I say, it does come out quite rusty, a rusty red.
It's reddish enough to be rust rather than an orange.
A rusty brass, should I say.
Yeah.
Maybe pin a bit of, I would go with Agrax. But make it really thin so you can build it up.
Or for the shade areas.
For the shade areas. And I think that mix quite nicely. Or maybe toilet water, actually.
Maybe.
I think toilet water.
What I want to do now is get that kind of reddishness to the other pieces. Which is going to be difficult because I was using old copper to begin with. It'd be doable somehow.
Old copper. Oh, I hate having tunes stuck in my head.
I just hate having a head.
It can be arranged, mate. Ooh, I've got a text.
Someone telling you that they're leaving you all that debt in the will.
Yeah. Here, you've got my debt. Yay. I've got my own, thanks.
It's a tough decision deciding whether to use Mahogany white or Purity white. They do different things with this style of painting. The fades you get are extremely different. As one completely removes colour, one it just sort of enhances the colour a little bit more because it's got more of a yellow to it, more of a cream. And the copy this knee all the way around. I'm not being very successful with that at the moment. Ah. Just trying to bring that edge up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Got a mate replying to us as a birthday message. Didn't realise you were born in 1905. So apparently I'm 120 something, according to Facepalm.
Yeah?
Yeah, I changed my age years
Oh,
ago to 120 or something like that.
You look pretty good for your age.
Yeah, I am, mate. I'm doing well.
And the Pied Piper says that company make miniatures to print. I think I may have seen a few of those.
Ooh, I am intrigued.
Yeah, I'm sure they got some really good orc models I was looking at. Didn't they just come out with a bunch of Bigmek models, I think? Yeah, like Bigmek proxies.
I'm gonna go with a purple for wings.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's on the blue side of purple and grey for me.
I'd start at this base of the thing, more fleshy, too purple, maybe.
It's just a base coat. So the muscle, the tendons and the muscles for the purple, and a sort of a grey for the wing membrane.
Yeah, I think I can see what you're going with.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I can desaturate the purple with the grey as well.
That's true. It's a word I haven't heard in a while.
I'm using
Desaturate.
big words, biatches. I has in England.
Who has England?
I are speaking good England.
We really don't speak good English.
Considering we're native English speakers, it makes it even worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, but most of English language is based on just
Something else.
slang and some other random stuff you've heard.
It is these days.
I know I talk's proper weird, but I'm always hanging out with people from different parts of the country. You pick up random bits from everybody.
That's true.
Definitely want these as bright as this, but that was just a mashup of colours. But it is possible to just, I could probably turn that into a wash consistency really. We do this a lot with the burnt umber, so I'll try it with a red, whole red. Apparently the wash consistency doesn't work, it's too thin. There we go. That should bring a bit more colour in. And then in those corners where my highlights are, dry my brush a little bit and just make sure it doesn't cover those up too much. It's weird this, I'm removing paint quite a lot. That's a bit better, I think. A bit smoother. See how that dries. Starting to look more like the tones that I want for all the armor plating, edging, sorry. I might start trying to do the edge on this. I should probably paint inside out, which means I need to do those bits. Colour to do the pipes. Some greenish grey, I believe.
And stay away from the greens, if that's what colour you're doing the skin.
Oh, they're going to be vibrant yellowy greens.
Yeah.
These will be muted grey greens. Something on the scale like a darker than Skaven Blight.
Skaven Blight Minge.
Good old Skaven Blight Minge. The one for the furries in the game. What colours can I steal off you?
Catch something off that.
Oh.
So you've just given me something new. Yay.
Brown grey, that doesn't look too bad for what I'm doing. We've got something brown grey but a bit more green, especially maybe in those model airs because they tend to have that.
Drab olive?
Drab olive, let's have a look at that one. Nah, that'll be, I'll end up using that for my skin tone maybe. Ah, screw it, I'll just mix these together, see what happens.
What's the worst that can happen?
That's an interesting question. What is actually the worst that can happen?
Well, to be honest, it depends if you watch the old Dr. Pepper adverts or not.
Oh, yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? There's a butt-naked boy, we need to rescue him!
Oh man, there was this weird stuff in those adverts.
It was great, wasn't it?
Aye.
He's stuck under a pile of toilet rolls. It's like, he's stuck, we need to take his trousers. No!
I was having a conversation once about it could always be worse. There's not a good statement to cheer someone up, but when you point out the fact that it's like their life's gone to hell and they're all broken, it's like, yeah, but it could be this, and then every day a badger could walk up to you and bite you in the ankle. I mean, it could always be worse.
Yeah, you could find your home infested with honey badgers.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Imagine if you ended up being Lord of the Honey Badgers and for some reason they just congregate around and do your bidding. That would be awesome. I want an army of honey badgers.
Go forth!
Go forth and wreck things.
Bring me the loots.
Right. So this piping in here. Let's see. Forgot what colour that was now. Scale 75, brown grey.
Honey badgers have that few fucks to give, but they start taking other people's.
That guy with his little ukulele. He has no more fucks to give.
Have no more fucks to give.
I love that song. I hate painting these bits inside the Games Workshop seem to be making a lot more of nowadays. It's like, here's some really good detail, but it's extremely hard to get to.
That sounds about right.
They had one in this guy, the Ogring guy, trying to paint in between here. It's an obvious nightmare.
Remember that video we watched about them bloke who had them honey badger pets? They kept breaking out of their enclosure.
Ah, you watched it and then you told me about it, and I thought it was fascinating.
Yes, so clever.
Aye.
He kept stealing stuff out of his fridge.
That they were just acquiring it. There was no theft involved.
It's like, that's ours, you just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Clearly it's ours, we're the honey badgers. Might start putting a bit of colour on this robe actually.
Good thing we didn't start stealing the vodka. Might have a pair of pissed up honey badgers for your hangover.
Oh, that'd be savage. I was watching honey badgers on like those wildlife videos and stuff. It's like there's a whole den of lions and two of them will just walk in and just sit there like,
what?
Move.
This is my gaff now. So, wait, what? Big alpha, big pride male's like,
No.
I ain't messing with that. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the effort.
And there's that video where the young lions are mucking around trying to fight, like winding up a honey badger, and the male's just looking at it going, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'd leave that alone if I were you.
See it laughing, can't you?
Yeah, you just these young whippersnappers are about to learn a lesson.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the phrase, fuck around and find out?
Yeah.
You're about to understand what it means.
Where am I up to on here?
Yeah, that's a brilliant bit of footage, that is. I love the fact that it walks around like it owns a place.
It does.
It's so small.
They're just the most hyper-aggressive animal on the planet.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the old God meme, you know, where he's pouring something during
Whoops.
creation. It's like, and add a little bit of aggression. Oh, God damn it.
So, hey God, what? Aggression's empty. Oops. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Tell that to the Serengeti. Right, get this pipe painted with something just to break up more detail. First I'm going to apply some water. There's a lot of detail in this.
I love the fact that when you get bitten by a viper, they kill the viper, sleep it off, and wake up with a slight hangover.
Yep.
What? You're being bitten by one of the most lethal, venomous creatures on the planet, and he's like, you wind up with a
well, as long as we bite its head off, we just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep the poison off, and then finish eating it when we wake up.
Oh, my head.
Wow, that's nuts.
They're great animals. It's just so bizarre. You're like, what? How does this work?
Right, let's try and apply some of this grey. No, it's not going to work just yet. And I'm not sure if that's going to be the right colour for the pipes either. It's a very thin paint though.
That's a good thing, though.
I need a little bit more coverage with it at the moment though.
Second layer.
I'm trying to do things in one layer though, isn't it? Yeah, some of these paints separate too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That colour definitely looks like it belongs on this palette. This one.
Give that a minute to dry. And what's the name of that miniature company? What we were
The
saying?
name of the miniature company was Gear Guts Mech Shop.
Gear Guts.
If they ever want to send us some models to paint, we'll be happy to paint them.
Gear Guts. Is it
Okay.
one? Is it S or Z?
It's S.
Next job.
Yep.
Okay. I have. And they are a UK ship. Gearguts minis.
Yeah, for those watching the live stream, if you're new to the live stream, we do stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from about 12-ish to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you want to come join us on either YouTube or Twitch, get your paint brushes out, get your models, and just hang out and have a chat.
These are pretty cool. Yeah.
Looks alright.
Armored Orc. That's bloke wearing.
That's the 3D rendering you were showing me, isn't it?
Yeah. Dude's got some armour on.
Yeah, we did. I did see some of these kicking around, so I'm sure I did.
I think that's what he specialises in, is orcs. Which makes sense with a name like Gearguts.
Aye.
Medic bosses. Hey, he's cool. I like his spinny claw. He's got a circular saw attached to a claw, or the other way around. I'm really not sure which way around it is, because it's an orc.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Cool though, isn't he?
Yeah. Looks like the Star of Azora from Elder Scrolls.
It's just up your I think it's just up your alley though, isn't it?
Aye.
Special bosses. War boss hobby is first.
Yeah, a little bit more than Mahogany White there.
War boss, war mistress on dog saw. His squib is cool. It's got glasses.
A squid with glasses.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a painted one. Actually, it's come up really nice. I think he got his it's painted by the War Mistress, which I'm guessing is someone he knows. But that's actually a decent feedback, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
I like the squid.
The paint style's a little cartoony for me, but I definitely like that squig model.
Yeah. I mean, the baby squid with a hat.
I didn't notice the baby squig.
You don't notice a little squid?
No, I was busy looking at the mouth work on the sculpt for the main squig with the goggles on.
Yeah, I think got some cool stuff in there. I like his gear. It's different. Oh, I found something really weird last night, and I have questions about it. Look at that headline.
Wife stabs
Husband with a squirrel.
Corn cares not from where the blood flows.
That's it. I found that on a 40k fan page, but the fact that it was a woman stabbed her husband with a squirrel.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, don't you hate it when you get stabbed with a squirrel?
I suppose it's a bit better than getting stabbed with a honey badger.
Slightly less catastrophic.
Just a little bit. was well too much paint. I just buggered that right up, which was a shame because it was going quite smoothly. Completely messed that up now. Ah. I'm probably going to struggle to paint these fleshes a luminous green without doing some base coat to them first. I'm still in the process of picking out what's going to be what. But when all else fails, just go back to the trim. I will have to start putting Xenophil on some of these to help with the blending. Alright Martin, how's it going? Martin just says, "What's up, brothers?"
Yo, dude.
Not much, just hanging out.
Doing our stuff.
Yeah, painting, chatting
Being
bollocks. We're really good at just hanging out, chatting bollocks.
Yeah. Strangely enough.
I mean, if I'd have took that as a GCSE at school,
Talking crap and hanging out with mates.
yeah, I'd have killed it. I'd have actually been advanced by a few years. Alright, so to try and remember what colour we did these parts, we're going to add, if I remember right, it's the whole red. Then we're going to add a tiny bit of the US flat brown and start at the top and work our way down. Bit of overspill there, so I'm going to take that out with my brush. Just trying to get a basic layer onto this trim so it looks a little bit more complete.
That chat log will go to shit very quickly.
Yeah.
Just talk. Someone one about LGBT issues, comparing it to the name of all the numerous names of bread buns we have over here.
Mm.
And then people start talking about the naming of a bread bun. It's like, that is going to descend into chaos.
Yeah. I like chaos though.
Oh, this is cool.
That is cool. A random shark person.
Big
120
ass.
millimeters.
Yeah,
it's
big.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I need to get hold of one of them. Oh, we do. There's some bear dudes and that, they're not so interesting, but the shark dude is cool, man. Oh, that's saving that photo. I want a shark dude.
Painting like a tiger shark.
Yeah. So with subtle, slightly darker grey stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll look wicked, that, won't it? I'm going to post that to the painting group.
Now that's dried a little bit, I'm going to go back over it with the rust. No, it's not rust. Very similar to the rust. It's the whole red. Pull that back the other way.
I would have.
And that makes it look a lot more rich.
If that existed, 15 years ago when I was playing Space Sharks, I'd be like,
you'd have done something with it.
I have an Imperial Knight. Bosh.
Yes, that would be cool.
Okay, more purple. Second layer.
It's a weird combination of colours to get this effect. Kind of reminded me of the Street Sharks, that image as well.
Street Sharks! No way! Well, that's a cartoon from a day too.
Yeah. I don't know what it was with, what was with that period of time, but it was like
Biker mice and
Street Sharks. It was like just pick an animal and make them look badass.
And give them wheels of some description.
Yeah, apparently.
Whether it's directly attached or via a vehicle. Jason and Wheeled Warriors, that was the same. It's like bumming cars.
Onion cars?
Yeah, Jason and Wheeled Warriors, bad guys, was very
I remember
weird.
talking about this.
They were sort of plant cars.
Vegan cars?
Yeah, probably. Karen cars.
No one wants a Karen car. All it does is complain.
Oh, I saw a video about a woman complaining about somebody leaving a car engine running. Yeah.
Yeah.
He sat in the car. It's like, you're complaining about the emissions from my car. She's like, yeah. You do realise this car is an electric. It's like, no, it's not. Of course you're going to say it's electric. It's like, he's in a Tesla.
I love it.
And she's proper ranting on about it, and he's just like, what are you on about, you daft woman? You know, it shows you the steering wheel, giant ass T on it.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You polluted everything, there's kids everywhere. It was like, not a kid inside.
I get sick of that, man. We were in the garden centre yesterday, and all these plants nowadays, the whole marketing pitch is like, this gives off good oxygen and proves it's CO2, good for the planet, and you're just like,
yeah, just like all.
Yeah, it's a plant, mate. Like all the others, but like the fact that they put, I'm paraphrasing what's on there, but you can imagine the sort of bull crap I was reading on these labels, and I'm just there, stood there. I wish these people, like saying to Jenny in the garden centre, I wish these people would just stop jerking off over everything. It's like, I'm helping. You're not, mate. You're not. You never planted a tree or something before. You know what I mean? So you're not saving the planet. The planet doesn't care.
The planet's going to be fine. It's just whether we are on it to survive, to know about it.
But they don't really do it because they care about the planet.
They
do it because they're just stroking themselves off.
Yeah, virtue signaling. They look good by virtue of doing these magnanimous deeds, but they're only doing it for clout. It's like these good deeds you're not doing because it's a good deed. You're doing it because it makes you look good. You know, if you were doing it because it is a good deed, you wouldn't be sprouting off about it.
No, you just do it like we used to do things back in the day. Guess internet clout wasn't a thing back then, so.
No, because it was all dial-up and it took forever to.
Yeah.
Wow! It only took 3 hours to download this song.
Only 3.
Dial-up was ace. You click on a picture and you wait 20 minutes for it to slowly load up. And it loads up from top down.
Yeah, you've already finished by that point.
It's like, well, that was pointless.
I do need to figure out how to make this darker in this section here. Sorry about the wobbly camera.
Wibble, wobble, wibble, wobble.
Oh, I bet that'd be really annoying if you were watching this hungover.
Oh God.
Just that slight movement on the screen. Like when you watch someone else play a first-person game when you're hungover, and like they're proper sprinting around on that, you're like, stop rotating the camera.
Stand still. I will vom.
Yeah, it's alright, we've got good old puke point A next to the sofa.
And generally try vom in the toilet. I try, you know. Not always a success, but I try.
No.
It's a lot easier to clean up.
Yeah. I imagine it would be. But our puke point A is actually just a bin that we wrote on. It's a reference to a Peep Show where Jeremy is planning this wild party, and in the corner he's got like a bucket, and he's got a bucket in another corner in the corridor. And it's like, that's puke point A.
He's a strange fish, this Jeremy.
Yeah, but he also knows how wild his party's going to be.
But
He's already setting up the puke points. It didn't end up being that wild, to be honest. But he was ahead of the game. He had it all sorted. I mean, if you go to a party and nobody nearly dies, was it even a party?
Going streaking.
You're going streaking?
Old school.
Ah.
One of a few films Will Ferrell's actually good in.
Ugh. Will Ferrell.
Yeah, he's actually decent. It's proper, like American Pie style comedy.
I just hate his face. It's one of those faces where you instantly are just like, I need to punch that face.
He has a face I want to punch.
Everyone has someone like that, and they have no. They've got to. It can't just be me. I'm sure I've heard other people say it.
I do.
You just look at someone's face, and you don't even know them or anything. You just want to punch that face.
Yeah, it's like, I want to hit you, and I'm not sure why.
Maybe it's your entire destiny. You are on the planet for that one reason. Punch that guy.
Fuck that guy. What? I don't know. It's just. There's
Yeah,
something about
getting
his
arrested.
face.
Like, what did you hit him for? I don't know. It was just his face.
I can't tell you. There is no rational reason. I just saw his face and it needed punching. For no reason.
Off you go with a caution. It's like, oh, off you go, mate. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, we all. I've been there, mate.
But that would also mean then that you have people with the most punchable faces.
Oh, you just get filled in every time you walk around. And I dare say, people thought it about me.
Yeah.
You know, law of averages. Someone's done it. Probably you.
Is it law of averages or probability?
I think the same thing, isn't it? Largely.
Not sure.
Pardon me.
No.
Alright, don't.
I wasn't gonna.
Oh, you went.
Yeah.
I'll take my toys.
Yeah, take your toys. You're just
not
gonna
playing
stop.
with my
I'm
toys
taking my
anymore.
toys and I'm going home.
Not playing my toys anymore.
We're a sad bunch.
Oh yeah.
It won't go the colour that I want it to.
If you shout at it, that might work.
Ah! Nah. It'd be nice if it did.
Go the colour I want! No.
Getting happy with the neck brace piece. Some of this bit. It's these big flat surfaces on the shoulder pads that I'm struggling with. This style doesn't lend well to massive sections. I can see why people do almost a non-metallic effect with it instead.
So I'm going to add a bit of chestnut onto the brown.
Ah, that old chestnut.
That old chestnut. So these pouches and his belt laid up in chestnut because it's a really nice colour. Great for leather type stuff.
I think I'm just going to take 5. I think I just need a break from this because it's starting to melt my brain.
No, it's not. Don't have one.
Because it melted.
Ah.
Aha. Aha. You'll have a look at that when you're not doing that. It's definitely the right type of colour tones. It's not too orange, it's not too yellow. His head really doesn't leave much space to get around with the brush.
Like, it's all a stack of detail, isn't it?
Yeah, it's detail stacked on detail. I should start trying to pick out the details on the cheeks there as well, so just to bring his face more together. And it looks like I'm going to have to start painting some form of brown or creams over anything that's going to be a lighter colour, like the eyes, which may be done in milk green probably. That sort of direction, the neon sort of greens.
So, what am I looking? That's like that same pot.
Oh no, I've not done any on that. That was just an accident. Just generally you'd be able to see what trim's getting done up.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Interesting colours. Got a little bit pinky near the top.
Oh, the very top.
This one here, yeah.
Which bit?
Around his gorget.
Oh yeah. It needs some more staining.
Ah, fair.
I think.
I like where you're going with it.
It's better than it looked this morning.
That's very more than that.
Back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Top. Well, I'll be back shortly, guys.
all good?
Yeah, I'm good. I was taking a quick break. Thinking about my painting while not painting. Wondering if I could just do a combination of a zenithal effect using the black, the white and the Mahovy white. So there's a sort of cream in there to disperse the colour, and then just wash this red over it. Then use that as the base layer to go back up again using the loaded brush technique, which shouldn't take too long. And remembering there's tons of panels at the back here for me to practice on with this colour. So
I am now painting some flames on this bloke, but in really, really dark red, and it's really thin, so you
can barely see it.
It's kind of the point. You need to build it up.
Because you're going for the realistic flames.
Ish. I've seen some blooming work on some on a black cloak the other day. I was like, wow, that is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm just going to keep adding a bit of water to this trim, just to break up that the work surface, so it, that pigment can move around better.
I've got a Heidi High theme tune stuck in my head.
The what tune?
The Heidi High theme tune.
That's a very strange one.
Yeah. It's a program from, early 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty old. Then again, we're pretty old.
Yeah.
So you're going to use more of the US flat brown. Add in a bit of the Mahovy white. Then, like I was saying, I want to try and mix that little bit of black in there now. Try and mix that on the model there, and then I will pull most of that paint back down to that recess. So easy to go over the top with the black pigment. So we're going to end up, that's looking pretty smooth all the way around. It's not too bad of a transition. Now I need to get some colour in there. But before that, I really want to bring this stripe of colour up into the middle. A little bit of water there, there. And actually take the colour out almost completely now. Purity white. blend that in.
Alright, the next shade of red.
How many reds have you done so far?
1.
You sound so enthusiastic about that as well.
Yeah, because it takes about 7.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
And I can't remember which way around it goes. Highlights at the bottom, isn't it? For fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Darker blue. Yeah. Highlights at the bottom.
Just let it dry a little bit so I can smooth it off.
That's the awkward part about doing fire. If you're doing it, the correct way around, you've got to do it backwards.
Maybe you could figure a technique where you don't have to.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there is cheats of it. It's just, the way of things, isn't it?
The way of things.
It's a thing.
Apparently so. And then I'm going to go back to the whole red.
So this is Antares red, which is my second layer of red. And obviously, I'll be taking this to not quite the full length of the flames, but it'll be almost, so it'll be adding the red to it, so you can actually see the flames a little bit now. It's obviously using really thin layers, so it takes a layer or two to be able to see the colours.
Starting from the shaded area where the most paint is. Well, I'm going to need the most paint. Blending both ways and then pulling that paint to that recess. I think I've put a bit too much on there, but I can use my brush to take it off and pull it back down.
It's a little bit thick, but that's not a major problem.
Try that again. This colour is really thin. Adds a lovely hue to the model. Trying to allow the paints on the underneath to show through a little bit, but we're going to go over those again anyway in a second. Didn't work exactly how I wanted, but
Let's face it, nobody ever does.
nope.
As long as it's something close, it's generally salvageable. So yeah, with these flames, I'm adding a couple of layers of the same colour. It's just going to build up that sort of picture with the orange.
I see what the problem is. I've not painted those bits there at all. Easily missed because they tucked it out of sight from one of the angles.
If you can, with this,
Brighten this up a bit.
you stretch your colours out a little bit longer than you need to. This gives you a little bit more working space. When you get the bright colours in, like the really light yellows. So all I'm doing is just doing wavy lines. I did develop a trick where you did it in straight lines, but the wavy lines look a little bit better. It's just not as easy because you've got to get the wavy lines consistent to a degree. But So it's kind of a pop art sort of style flame. Kind of almost graffiti-esque. To get the flames, so you want them all different lengths and wiggles, wiggling in different directions. That looks a little random.
Should have wet that before I started applying paint. Well, that isn't actually too bad for transition, although it wasn't the technique I was trying to learn. It seems like I'm just making up my own techniques at this point.
Nothing wrong with that. As long as you're getting the results you want.
I'm getting something that looks pretty neat, and it highlights almost the way I want it to.
The other thing with doing fire, and because you're layering up multiple shades of similar colours over each other, don't worry too much if you make a mistake and you mess it up. You've got 6 or 8 different layers to work with, and then you can always go over with your base coat, so in this case black, just to tidy things up at the end if it needs it. But you've got plenty of opportunity to fix things because of the way you're doing it. Just kind of try and keep your
That's what happens with thin layers.
try and keep your flames pointy. And we start off looking a bit dull, a bit rubbish, but the more layers you get on, the better it starts to look. Which sounds obvious, but it's easy to get disheartened. And now I'm also out of colour, I can start painting the eyes. Yeah, eyes. I'm not going to go over the top on eyes because it's just a battle line warrior.
Just add a little bit more water to my workspace. And a tiny bit of the purity white. I'm going to mix that on the brush with a flat brown to try and bring out these tiny details where the light would reflect back off the surface. Same fucking number, isn't it?
Well, Forrest called, he wants his ringtone back.
It's just fucking rude.
What, wanting his ringtone back?
No, ringing me. I ain't gonna answer that. People ringing me on my phone. What the hell are they playing at?
I know, mate. How dare they? And expecting you to answer it.
That's the rude part, mate.
Rude.
I hung up on you the first time you rang.
Your number hasn't changed. What makes you think?
I'm just gonna change my mind. I could have just answered it on the live stream and just trolled them.
Give them a painting tutorial while you're on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, just be on phone, but then keep talking to all our viewers on thing as well while I'm at it.
Yeah, why not? They decide to ring us during working hours.
Yeah, I'd put it on loudspeaker, innit?
We get working hour treatment.
Halfway through fucker, you are now live on YouTube. Oh, that'd be kind of funny actually.
It would actually, yeah.
Especially when we get those scam calls.
You are being hacked. By you, maybe? I will release some embarrassing photos of you.
I'll release them myself.
Yeah, I took them.
Usually what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
This is Donny, mate, not Vegas.
Thought I'd throw that in there anyway.
I know.
It's the place where you're most likely to have embarrassing photos.
No, it's not. Anywhere involving alcohol is where the embarrassing photos take place.
Yeah, I suppose.
Can I have the Mars Orange, please?
Mars Orange.
Yeah. Thank you.
Check that out. Picked it up straight and knew exactly which one it was. Makes a change. I wasn't expecting to. I was expecting to look through every single orange on my desk. How's everyone think? How's that leg looking?
Like a rib.
Any opportunity to make comments about the old rib leg? Rib leg.
They call it rib leg.
Bloody thing. I'm still surprised we have it actually. I don't know why.
Because I would let you throw it away. I keep putting it back where it was.
Yeah, that's a lesson learnt though. If someone's going to give you commission work to do, get paid up front. Won't be making that mistake again.
And now it's going into a proper orange. It's starting to get further down, and as you can see, it's starting to actually look a bit like fire. The bright colours really do help with that as it starts to stand out a little. And you start getting jumps between the light and the dark. You do have to paint it in an unnatural manner insofar as you highlight down rather than up. Sometimes it takes a bit of an adjustment to get your head around that a little bit. It's an easy thing to get wrong. But it is worth the effort. So it does look better.
If something's worth doing, it's worth doing right.
Or balls in it right up.
Yeah, but I don't think you set out to balls things up though.
Yeah, but if you balls it up, you've got to do it right.
Ah, that's what you're getting at, yeah.
No point only doing a half-assed measure of balls it up.
Well, you know, go big or go home, as they say.
Yeah. Here at Bigmeks Workshop, we're really not afraid of ballsing stuff up, because we do it all the time.
That's how it got here.
Yeah.
We decided, hey, we've got nothing to do. Let's do this.
Next thing we know, we've got YouTube.
YouTube, besides the live stream's been a bit stale at the moment. But
Well, that's down to us.
it's down to me not making time to sort out videos, but it's also the mental burden of making videos.
Yeah.
Actually sitting to edit videos can be soul destroying if you're doing like 2 videos a week.
It's a lot of work. You wouldn't believe how much effort.
It would be. I'd be much more inclined if we got more views on the videos. If like you got big amounts of views on the videos every time, then there'd be some reward. But you know, sometimes you could put like weeks of work into a video, release it, and it just gets a few hundred views and then disappears into nothing.
Yeah, and that's a real bad feeling. You're just like, what was the point?
Yeah.
As you can see, very quickly starts to become fine looking. And that's 4 layers in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4 layers in. And there's 3 more yellows. 3 yellows to go, I believe. Or is it 2? Probably get away with 2. So this is Sol Yellow.
Soul Yellow.
Yeah.
It's a weird name.
And my old favourite of High Key Yellow as well.
Scale 75, that isn't it?
I pretty much exclusively use it these days, more or less. I use the odd non-scale 75 paint for certain jobs, but majority of my work's done in scale 75. It's just that it's directly in front of me.
That makes sense.
That's the only reason. I do like the paints, of course, but the only real reason is because they're directly in front of me and it's easy to see what I want.
Makes sense. It's a really good range, though.
It is a very good range, but like everybody else on the planet, I'm inherently lazy.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work harder than they have to do anything, and that even goes to looking for paint. In my case, so marred up yellow now. Getting them nice bright colours in.
Decided to switch to a little bit of the armour because
You're getting bored.
yeah, just a bit. So a bit of the Techless blue and a little bit of the Dark Reaper. Blend that down to Dark Reaper.
One of the first ever models I ever bought was Techless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a high elf player back in 92, 93 in Fantasy.
Fantasy's not around now, is it? I don't keep up to date with the news. I rely
It's the
on
old
you for
world
the
stuff
news.
now, isn't it? But what is coming out in the next 12, 18 months, I dare say.
Should be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah. It's more just a rule set for them.
Yeah, give us some more talking points.
Well, yeah. I will be, over the next 12 months, building a Bretonian army.
But not using Games Workshop models.
No, because I'm not paying full whack for 30-year-old figures.
Nah, seems a bit ridiculous.
Uh,
Well, when you look at it like that, I mean, to them, it's still costing the same for production. I also understand your point.
So I'm going to buy 3D printer models. I was going to get some for my birthday, but then Sarah told me that it's going to cost like 15 quid for postage.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the postal service at the moment's absolute piss tag.
I think we were coming from Germany or somewhere. And because obviously she's not involved in a hobby, she doesn't know what she's looking for. It's a lot easier for me to find the same thing and find it from this country, rather than just get her to fart about.
Yeah.
So I'll just do it myself and get the exact thing I want, but for less, because I'll be getting it posted from over here.
Makes sense. I ain't even posting things over here is getting ridiculous.
Very true.
I was asking about. Throat's a bit dry. I was asking about stamps in post office the other day. Large letter stamp. They want 160 now.
Wow.
That's a bit of a bloody price hike. You know, from 96p.
That's a huge price hike. That's like 47%. I think that's actually.
So we'll no longer be posting bases. We're just going to get. Well, we are going to post bases. We're going to send Andy on a little push iron.
So that I've got a son. We'll send him instead.
That is a good point.
I have to pay for him.
Welcome into employment, Dylan.
Where am I going? Hull.
Yeah, to post this.
Get me scooter.
It only cost them $3.99.
Get me scooter. See you in 2 days.
Those electric scooters are everywhere nowadays.
It's cost actually very reasonably priced. You can get the one what Dylan's got is about just shy of 300 quid.
Yeah.
And it does like 30 mile an hour.
Yeah, they're alright. Like, I've got one over there. I've had a raz on it.
How Donny do you want to be? Can I have a raz?
Yeah, give him a raz on your bike, mate. Don't give him a raz on your bike because he won't come back.
Even if it's one of your close friends, if that word raz comes out, you ain't seeing it for an hour.
Yeah, it's gone. Even worse when you're in bloody Rosso. It's like, alright, he's gone for a raz on my bike and I'm at the opposite end of the village. That's a like 2 or 3 mile bloody walk.
Yeah, it's a massive village, isn't it?
Yeah, it was the biggest in Europe at one point. Don't know if it's still a village or it's a town now.
No, it's not a town. It's still part of Donny, isn't it?
Yeah. I think. I don't know because they keep changing things and I don't pay attention. So I turn around and everything's changed.
Mexborough, isn't it? No. Mexborough's still only a village.
You're pronouncing shit all wrong.
I am.
Oh, I'm messing this armour up now. Come on.
Do I have any black
Yeah, I think some of that blue has dried out on my palette. That's what the problem is.
And last but by no means least, the hikey yellow right in the deepest sections of it. Just sort of stipple it on now. So you've got most of the definition there.
See if I can repeat what I was doing here on the front. Some of this I might need to prime black again so I can get an even base coat and a nice colour match.
Just go along the bottom edge around here. Follow that highlight round. Some of the best flames have done.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, I just wish I got perfect on my characters and not on a line troop. It's always the same though. You do your test paint on a line bloke, and it's usually the best paint job you've done for the army, and it will remain that way. So you wind up with one really snazzy looking dude, and everything else is not quite as good.
Yeah, I think there's a few of those in the Salamander's army.
Yeah, I'll test paint on a intercessor. Yeah, it looks spot on. That's the level I want everything at. No, you can't even achieve it with your characters. Typical.
Add a little bit more of that whole red and bring that down into the shaded areas. Completely miss, but pretend we didn't see that.
Yeah, that never happened. Rewind.
Well, we've got the sands of time going on here.
Yeah, Prince of Persia. That's me on that's me on my weekends. Go back in time. Nah, that never happened, mate.
No, that's the backwards, man. There's a theory that's what deja vu is.
Going by that logic, I should have it all the time, because nothing ever works properly around me.
And that's something the universe just skipped back on itself or something. And you actually remember it happening before.
Universe just goes, nope, we can't be doing that. Oh shit, Andy's about.
Gonna add a little bit of the Mahogany white to the US flat ground. And if it ends up being too bright, that'll be fine, because we're going to add the whole red over the top of it. Still going to keep that in focus for it. Then a tiny bit of the whole red. And that's really going to add the colour in.
Alright. A bit of highlighting on the metallics. That was Victorian brass, so
Blend the two on the model. Feel free to jump in the chat, guys.
Yeah.
Whenever we go quiet, if someone jumps in the chat, it gives us something to talk about.
It does, and it really helps. It really helps everybody, because obviously it gives you something to talk to. Gives us
something to listen to.
And when we can listen to, you can listen to us and interject with your own opinions.
Yes, we would like to have music on here, but there's a huge problem with copyright issues and YouTube.
And we can't afford that law bill.
No, we can't afford any bills.
Bills suck. Bite me.
So does the law.
I fought the law, but the law won. Damn it.
We'll go by Oak logic. If you're able to sing that song, you're still able to fight the law. So therefore, it hasn't won yet. It's hard to get. There's a contrast here, but my brushwork's being a bit sloppy, and I've obviously got blue from when I was working before on the other bit of the model. The light's coming down from here, so this very corner would be quite white, but I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use Mahogany white, which is more of a cream.
But it gives you a subtle highlight.
Yes.
It doesn't jump as much.
Especially when I'm blending it on the model with other colours. It just sort of mutes the previous colour a little bit, whereas the white pretty much takes all the colour out. Purity white I meant, by the way. It's obviously going to be confusing if I'm using multiple whites.
And finally, a little bit of Moonstone Alchemy on the gold. Then I'll just have to just do a little bit of highlighting on the silver work, because we don't want to leave it now, otherwise it'll look stupid. You don't need to go over the top though, because there's only very small amount of metallics on this. You don't need much in the way of metallics on any space marine really. Just enough to break areas up. If you've done what I've done, and just get a bit of gold where the black should be, back over. in
I see
the
more
ocean.
paint sneaking their way onto my desk here.
I keep putting them back, that's why. Ish.
Oh, the metallic scale 75.
Yeah. A little bit of chainmail where the black metal was. Oh, it is, should I say. Slightly lighter than the black metal. But I'm intentionally keeping the silver dark. The darker the rest of the model, the brighter the fire looks. Or at least in my opinion anyway.
Dark yellow, bright fire.
Dark silver.
Ah, I misheard you. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with this bit.
I thought you were just trying to figure out what I was waffling on about.
Bit of both. I suppose most of our viewers and subscribers wonder that a lot as well.
So, what is he doing now? Is he talking of any kind of sense? No, is probably the answer.
I'm definitely going to have to learn to be a lot neater when putting down undercoats and actually separate the sections better.
A little bit of 9 oil, getting into all them recesses.
The blue on the underneath of this is spoiling with the paint job. I'm going to have to just do neater edges, I guess. It's not a problem when your whole technique was, well, when my whole technique was just glazing. Keep glazing over it.
Yeah, make it look better.
But now with this technique, it's all trying to be sharp and precise.
A little less forgiving.
Yeah, because that layer shows through quite well. And changes the colour quite drastically with the thinness of the paints. I do like about this colour combination though is I can just highlight it up and go straight over it with this whole red to tone it all back down and give it that orangey look.
Yeah, found a bit of a fire I'm not particularly happy with. So clean my brush and just go back over with that lightest colour. So I found a little bit of
Kinda happy with the way this leg was
black
going.
going in.
There's the lights coming from here. Well, the light's coming down from this side.
That's better.
So, yeah, it should hit there. That's where the highlight should be. Yeah, it looks alright.
Da-da-da. Legion of the Damned.
That's not bad. From what I can tell anyway. Well, I'm sat at least tabletop distance away.
I do need to finish, do a little bit of work on that. I'm gonna purely seal them.
I'm going to have to figure out what colour to do all of the parts sooner or later. That's going to be interesting. That's what I was saying I was going to do actually. I was going to finish working on his face. And then I went and took a break and forgot.
And there we go. Legion of the Damned, minimal effort. And do it that way, you get a decent quality paint job. Takes a little bit longer than if you do it all by, what's the word? Painting in batches. But you get better quality. But again, for the amount of effort work it takes, you do get a really nice finish.
And why would you not want your army to have a nice finish?
Especially if it's very little effort.
Yeah, I mean, we all spend a lot of money on models and paints and brushes. May as well try and show your army off.
Exactly. Yeah, but
Yeah, just give me 1 sec. just got this bit of face set up.
Now, what I have done on my Blade Go veterans is, whilst he's looking at that, I've also painted flames up the face. I decided not to do it on these guys because, just warriors really, aren't they? There's plenty going off on him anyway. The Blade Go veterans are obviously a much more elite unit. Same with the characters, they get flames on the face and what have you. These guys know, because, well, there's going to be loads of them. We don't need it.
Well, it didn't take you long.
No. What? 3 hours today. Couple of, an hour and a half on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, most of the work's just, it's all the flames work.
Yeah. You spend a lot, the majority of the time actually doing the edge highlights right.
Yeah.
And then boom, fire, because the fire's actually quite quick.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He's good to go.
Yeah. Get him on a base and boom, ready to go. Speaking of which, I may as well do it. Oh, I pop every time I move. That's me getting old.
Yeah. Just one of your joints just comes apart.
Yeah, it's like, this part of your body doesn't play anymore. What part's that? Yes.
His face is rammed full of details, and it gets very difficult to see what's what as they're changing the colours on the model.
There's a poly. Here we are.
Well, it's nearly 4 o'clock, so I'm going to finish my live stream for now, guys. Of course, I am just doing the same model at this point.
Yeah, and I'm just going to be probably putting some stuff together.
So we will be back on tomorrow, which is Thursday, from about 12ish till whenever we decide to stop live streaming. So feel free to join us.
Yeah, drop by, say hi, talk to us, give us something to talk about.
Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks to